Very good afternoon, dear students. The next section of our open course, microbes and environments, are very important. This is related with the water system, and why this water system is one of the most important component in this ecosystem, and what are the important environmental aspects of water, and especially what are the pollution microbiological aspects of pollution of water, and what are the various methods for the treatment of wastewater, and how will you check the quality of drinking water. All those things we are going to discuss in this particular unit, and this is really one of the important scope of microbes and environment paper. As an open course, those students have completed or studied these topics, they will be having a lot of important knowledge on the utilization and the pollution of the water in our daily life. And this unit, the first topic mentioned in module number 3, fecal pollution of water and waterborne diseases. So these are very common topics nowadays. You know that we are having so much of water bodies, and the water bodies have drastically polluted, and this pollution is mainly due to the human interference in the ecosystem. And one of the important aspects constitute lot of pathogenic microorganisms in the water, and they transmit certain diseases through water that are known as waterborne diseases. So we are going to discuss what are the major aspects of fecal pollution of water. So we will discuss what do you mean by fecal pollution of water. Then, as you all know, right, you can see water is one of the most important resources, and nowadays due to the interference of human, we are not having water in all the season. There are scarcity of water everywhere, and this one of the main reason for the water act as the transmission of infection is the fecal pollution or fecal contamination in the water. And we are going to discuss what do you mean by fecal pollution and how water is transmitting so many diseases through this particular fecal pollution. So fecal pollution of the water is the contamination of water with a disease causing organism or pathogen that may inhabit the gastrointestinal tract of the mammals including human. So fecal pollution is the waterborne contamination, waterborne diseases that is caused through this water, and the disease causing organism they transmit through water, and they affect the gastrointestinal region of the human and other mammals. And human fecal sources are the most important sources of human illness worldwide. Okay, the human fecal sources are the most important sources of the disease globally. Okay, waterborne pathogens from fecal pollution continue to be the major contributors to the outbreak of infectious disease in many areas, including so many developing countries in the world. People have been using contaminated water for their daily requirement. Okay, and through water the microorganism is transmitted through human. Okay, so this is one of the major source of transmission of the infection in the human. And the fecal pollution, the microorganism, how the microorganisms are getting, okay, through the water. Okay, as you can see in this particular child is bathing or taking water from a small pond that is highly polluted, okay, and whatever the microorganism is present, that microorganism will be straight away reached to these two kids, okay. So nowadays people don't have a good facility for the water because all the waters are drastically polluted. So thereby the microorganism may enter from sewage effluent. Sewage means the waste material that is mixed with the water, that is known as sewage, okay. Sewage effluents and the recreational population using water, that is to defecation or shedding, etc. These are the recreational activities, and livestock, okay, such as cattle, sheep, okay, goat, cow, okay, etc. Then industrial process, farming activity, okay, farming activities, domestic animals such as dogs, okay, kitten, okay. Similarly, you are having cow, goat, okay, and the wild life, okay. And from all this fecal sources, the microorganism can directly reach into the water, and this microorganism obviously contain lot of free living pathogenic microorganism, and these sources can directly have lot of free living microbial sources, and these sources can include pathogenic organism that cause severe gastric troubles and gastrointestinal infection following ingestion or infection of the upper respiratory tract, okay, ears, eyes, okay, nasal cavity and skin, okay. So from water so many problem it will create, okay, gastrointestinal infection, upper respiratory tract infection, ear infection, eye infection, nasal cavity and skin infection, skin irritations, etc., etc., okay. And the major group of fecal coliforms, okay, fecal pollutions are mainly for the transmission or the presence of one group of bacteria called coliform, okay. Here you can say a glass of water, if it is contaminated, you will be able to see the microscopic particles, so many types of bacteria, and if you culture that particular one drop of water in the laboratory, in a microbiology lab, you will be able to see like this, so many small visible colonies like bacteria, okay, then fungi, yeast, etc. These are very powerful and pathogenic organisms. So mainly coliforms are they are the bacteria that are always present in the digestive tract of animals, okay. The bacteria that is commonly present in the digestive tract of animal including human and are found in their waste, okay. So the digestive tract of animals and including humans and are found in their waste. There are three types. One is total coliform, next one is fecal coliform, next one is the most common type of coliform called E. coli, okay. You might have heard about E. coli, okay, drinking water, lot of E. coli, okay. E. coli also commonly present, okay. And the most basic test for bacterial contamination of the water supply is the test for total coliform bacteria. So whenever a mineral water company, they are packing the water, okay, the most important thing that the test should be done, the fecal coliform count should be tested per 100 ml of water. How many bacteria are present, that need to be tested, and a microbiologist should be certified this water is safe to consume. So that is why this particular topic is very important, and the water what you are drinking can have a lot of water, okay, and that water require testing for the possible total coliform bacteria. And the total coliform count gives a general indication of the sanitary condition of the water. It will clearly tell, if you test the water for total coliform count, it will clearly tell about where the water is safe to drink or not. Whether the water is safe to drink. We used to use a particular term called potable, okay. Whether the water is potable. Potable means safe to drink for human consumption. Okay, for human consumption it is safe. Okay, that is known as a total coliform count. Okay, so these are three types of coliforms. I told you, one is total coliform, next one is fecal coliform, next one is E. coli, that is otherwise known as Escherichia coli. Why it is known as Escherichia coli? The scientist Escherichia is the person who discovered or isolated the E. coli first. Then what are total coliform? Total coliform include the bacteria that are found in soil, water, and that has been influenced by all the surface water such as river, streams, lake, okay, and in human and animal waste that is commonly present. Human and animal waste, the human and animal waste is mixed with the water that is present in soil and the water system and surface water. Then you will be having lot of bacteria in it, that is known as total coliforms. Okay, then next one is fecal coliform. The fecal coliforms are a group of total coliform that are considered to be specifically present in the gut and fecal material of the warm-blooded animals. Okay, so warm-blooded animals, the fecal coliforms are a group of a total coliform that are considered to be present in very specifically in the gut, okay, or stomach or intestine of a intestine and the fecal material of the warm-blooded animal including human. Okay, and these fecal coliforms are considered a more accurate indication of animal or human waste than total coliform. Okay, so you should know that whether the coliform count is a fecal coliform, the fecal coliforms are the most appropriate indication of the coliform. Okay, total coliform. Next one is Escherichia coli, is one of the group of fecal coliform that is commonly present in all the aquatic ecosystem. Okay, but that is not commonly found in growing and reproducing in the environment. E. coli cannot be grown and reproduced in the environment very easily. That is commonly present as the coliform in the warm-blooded animal, and this coliform E. coli is considered to be the species of coliform bacteria that is the best indicator of fecal pollution and the possible presence of pathogens. Okay, and the E. coli are the best indication wherever you are seeing E. coli, that type of water. Okay, so that number of E. coli, if it is exceeding the limit set by World Health Organization, that water is not safe to drink, or there are chances that there are lot of other pathogens are also present. Okay, so these are the different types of coliform. These are very, very important. Then among this one we are going to discuss fecal coliform in specifically. So as you can see, these are the electron microscopic photograph of such a kind of bacteria. Okay, they are you have already seen that facultative anaerobes. Okay, they can either grow in the presence of oxygen or absence of oxygen. A fecal coliform is a facultative anaerobic rod shaped. You can see here rod shaped, and there is something called as gram negative. This is a microbiological term, gram negative. They are based on their cell wall composition. The bacteria are classified into gram positive and gram negative. Okay, so they are gram negative and they are non-sporulating bacterium. What is non-sporulating? Whenever bacteria they don't have adequate food for their growth, they change their dormant resistant form called spore. Okay, and this coliform, they are not able to produce a spore. Okay, they are non-sporulating bacteria. So this is very, very important. So a fecal coliform is a facultative anaerobic rod-shaped gram-negative non-sporulating bacteria. Okay, and I told you these fecal coliforms are commonly present, generally originate in the intestine of warm-blooded animal. Okay, that is commonly present in the intestine of warm-blooded animal. Okay, and the coliform bacteria, that is commonly the common type of coliform bacteria is E. coli. Okay, but there are some other bacteria, they are not fecal origin. Okay, such as Enterobacter, Klebsiella citrobacter, okay, Enterobacter, Klebsiella citrobacter. These are another examples of coliform bacteria. Common group is E. coli, okay. So this is the electron microscopic photograph of a fecal coliform. And what are the potential sources of this bacteria in the water? What are the major sources of this coliforms bacteria in the water? Okay, the presence of fecal coliform in aquatic environment may indicate that the water has been contaminated. Okay, what is the main important aspect of fecal coliform? If you check the fecal coliform count, then we can clearly tell that whether the water is safe to drink or not, or whether the water is contaminated or not. Okay, so this is because water is the very important thing. Every day we are drinking actually. Without water we cannot survive. Okay, even food we can survive a couple of days, but water we cannot survive without water. Okay, so that is very important. The water, the aquatic environment may indicate that the water has been contaminated. The presence of this fecal coliform, that is clearly indicating that the water may be contaminated. So the fecal coliform bacteria can enter into the river. You can see some of the activities, the direct discharge of waste. Okay, from somewhere the waste is collected and direct discharges of waste. Okay, from mammals and birds, and agricultural storm runoff, from the agricultural field some runoff, or human sewage, the human excreta or animal excreta mixed with the water. Okay, and also the plant material and pulp, paper mill effluent. Okay, there are a lot of water, not from the water tank, there are a lot of waste water is generating. All this water consisting of what? Lot of fecal coliform. How this water will be having a lot of fecal coliform? Because this water, the waste has lot of nutrient content actually. Okay, the waste material has lot of protein and carbohydrate and such a kind of nutrient material. That nutrients, you know, that's the best source of food for bacteria. So that is why these bacteria are easily they are growing there. Okay, so that is the potential sources of bacteria. Then again you can see the human interference. Okay, human sewage, this you can see complete the water has become black in color, complete the waste material drastically thrown everywhere, and that is mixed with the waste material and it's completely thrown. You can see all sorts of plastic material, bottles and all such a kind of waste materials. Okay, here you can see the water is coming from big water pumps. Okay, this is waste and directly entering into the aquatic ecosystem like river, pond, etc. Okay, so the human sewage failing home septic system. Okay, from the septic tank directly it is releasing to the water. Okay, then the water table, aquifer, drainage ditches. Okay, and all those things are there very near to the surface of the water. Then the water will easily contaminate. Okay, then the sewage connection that are connected to a storm drain pipes. Okay, storm drain pipes, directly the sewage, the pipe that is carrying lot of sewage that is released to the nearby water body, then it will be contaminated with a lot of bacteria. Sometimes the sewage will be combined with the domestic as well as the normal agricultural waste. Okay, that is known as combined sewer. Okay, the place in which that is consisting of lot of sewage is known as sewer. Okay, a combined sewer that has lot of domestic and storm water, that is agricultural, municipal, industrial waste water. Okay, that has lot of coliform, fecal coliform are present. Okay, then the next potential source is the animal. We know that the pet animals like cat, dog, okay, which can contribute lot of their excreta, fecal contamination to the surface water. Okay, similarly the runoff from roads. Okay, when the road, lot of waste material will be trapped on the roadside, and once the rain comes, all those waste material will be released into the water. Okay, similarly parking lot or yards can carry animal waste. Okay, to streams through the storm sewers. Okay, similarly the birds, the excreta of birds, a lot of birds that has lot of contaminant source of fecal coliform bacteria. Then the birds like swans, geese or seagulls, okay, waterfowls, okay, all those things they can contribute lot of excretas, okay, and their feather etc can contribute lot of contamination, and this elevate the bacterial count especially in the wetland, lakes, pond and the river. So that is the way animals, okay, and the dead bodies of animal, okay, animal waste, okay, if it is released, okay, then the the slaughterhouses waste, okay, the chicken farm waste, all those things are when it is dumping to the water bodies, it will create lot of fecal coliform. Next one is the agriculture, okay, the agricultural practices such as livestock to graze near water bodies, okay, livestock, okay, spreading fertilizers and manures, okay, and fielding during wet period using sewage sludge biosolid, okay, sludge, okay, is the thick waste materials are coming from the sewage plant is known as sludge, okay, that is known as biosolids that has lot of nutrients, thus the bacteria will be rapidly multiply and which can contribute lot of fecal coliform to the environment, okay. Then what are the problems which result from the fecal contamination of water? So what will happen if the water contaminations are prolonged and what so much fecal contaminations are present? The first thing is like a human health hazard, okay, the biggest problem, okay, the drinking contaminated water, okay, drinking contaminated water, large quantities of fecal coliform bacteria, the water are harmful and which indicate a higher risk of pathogen being present in the water, okay, the large quantities of fecal coliform it is there, that is indication that there are so many bacteria are which are pathogenic are commonly present. And some waterborne pathogenic diseases that may coincide with the fecal coliform contamination, okay, there are so many problem water contamination that is commonly arised due to the consumption of contaminated water such as ear infection, so many ear infection, dysentery, okay, that is known as bacillary or bacterial dysentery, typhoid, okay, then that is a bacterial disease, and viral and bacterial gastroenteritis, okay, okay, and hepatitis, okay, these are the some of the main diseases that is commonly caused by consumption of contaminated water and due to the entry of fecal coliforms. Then what are not only in the human health, what are the other potential problem? The effects on the environment, okay, the effects on the environment. So untreated water, okay, untreated organic matter that contains fecal coliform which can harmful to the environment, okay. So what will happen? The untreated waste which is not treated that contain lot of fecal coliforms that is harmful to the environment. So the aerobic decomposition of this material can dissolve oxygen level if it is discharged into the river and water bodies. So if the waste materials are continuously discharged, okay, like this, if you discharge this waste material, it will reduce the content of oxygen, okay, it will reduce the dissolved oxygen content present in the water, and thereby all aquatic animal will not have sufficient oxygen to survive, they will die actually, okay, due to the high toxic component. You can see that there are places in which fishes and other aquatic animals are died and floated over the surface, okay, you can see that, and this may reduce the oxygen level enough to kill the fish and other aquatic life, okay, this may reduce the oxygen level and enough to kill the aquatic life, okay. And if you wanted to reduce the fecal coliform, then what should be done? The wastewater may be treated, okay, by using chlorine or other disinfectant like phosphorus, okay, or UV radiations, okay, and this treatment that will helpful for killing the fecal coliform and disease causing bacteria, okay. But when you are treating all this wastewater with the use of chlorine or other disinfectant or other chemicals or UV radiation, what you can do? You can kill this fecal coliform and disease causing bacteria. but it will be a big threat to the ecosystem, because the environment we require the activity of lot of microorganisms. We have discussed the biogeochemical cycling. Okay, last class we have discussed various microbial interaction, commensalism, antagonism, parasitism. Okay, then rhizosphere effect. Okay, fertility of the soil. All these are made by the bacteria. All these useful bacteria will be killed when you do all those treatment in the ecosystem, so that it will be adversely affect the balance of the ecosystem, and there are so many animals they survive, okay, with the help of this bacteria. These animals will become endangered species, okay. They will be extinct from our ecosystem. They will be destroyed from the ecosystem if the bacteria is getting killed actually, okay. So that is very, very important. And higher level of fecal coliform require higher level of chlorine, okay. So when you add a higher level of chlorine, the concentration of oxygen will be reduced. That will be toxic to the aquatic ecosystem. Organism will be died, okay. In our own intestine, lot of bacteria are there, okay. The bacteria are present in our own intestine, good bacteria. That bacteria are giving us an immunity power, okay. Immunity power. The bacteria will fight against lot of other foreign pathogenic bacteria. They provide immunity to the in our body. That is why you should eat lot of curd, okay, or milk, because it consisting of useful bacteria like probiotic bacteria like lactobacillus, okay. When you are eating, it will help you to provide lot of immunity, okay. All this problem or bacteria will be died. The bacteria from the ecosystem will be totally died if the coliform contents are present when you are using this technique like chlorination or halogenation, etc. Okay, that is another important problem. Then the next topic, if these fecal contaminants are raised, then it will lead to waterborne diseases or waterborne disorders. Okay, what are waterborne diseases? The biggest topic in microbiology. Okay, so we will discuss very briefly. Okay, so what do you mean by waterborne disease? Waterborne diseases are a condition or disease caused by pathogenic microorganism that are transmitted in water. Okay, that is transmitted in contaminated water. This disease can be spread while bathing or taking bath, okay, or washing, drinking or eating food, okay, because food means without water there is no food we can prepare, okay. So eating food, exposure to the contaminated water, okay, so that is also a problem. Then you will be having diarrhea. Have you heard about diarrhea? Diarrhea, vomiting, okay. Vomiting in most commonly reported the signs and symptoms of waterborne illness, but you are having skin allergies, ear issues, okay, respiratory tract infections or eye issues, eye irritations, okay, all these problems also can provide as a symptom. Then you know that if you are counting every year, okay, in the case of developing countries, okay, then each year waterborne disease afflict more than 100 to millions of people, primarily those who are living in without safe accessible water in developing countries, okay. So people are not having good quality water to drink and utilize, so that has leads to massive spread of this waterborne diseases. That's a big communicable disease. The major organism that is causes the waterborne disorders or diseases are bacteria, protozoa, virus, algae and parasitic worms, okay. These are the major organism that causes the waterborne disease. Among this one, the bacteria, protozoa and viruses are the major one, and some of the waterborne diseases. And what is the causative organism, how the contaminated, what is the source and what are the common symptoms, we are going to discuss in another couple of slides, okay. So this is very, very big topic. Disease are one big topic in microbiology, so you should know very briefly about all those things. First one, the waterborne disease caused by bacteria. The diseases are botulism, then campylobacteriosis, cholera, this you have already heard, E. coli infection, dysentery, legionellosis, then typhoid fever or salmonellosis or enteric fever, leptospirosis. Okay, these are the some of the disease. So botulism is caused by a anaerobic bacteria called Clostridium botulinum. The main source is contaminated drinking water and contaminated food. Okay, what are the common symptoms if you get this botulinum? So botulism. Okay, so this organism is known as Clostridium botulinum. Okay, thus the disease is known as botulism. Okay, the general symptoms are dry mouth. Always your mouth will be dry, blurred, or double vision. You will feel like double vision or blurred vision. Difficulty in swallowing. Okay, you cannot take the food. Actually, it will be difficult to swallow. Muscle weakness. There will be muscle pain. Difficulty in breathing difficulty, slurred speech. When you are talking, speech will not come out. Slurred speech, vomiting, and diarrhea. Okay, so these are the common type of symptom. Then Campylobacteriosis. The organism name is the bacteria called Campylobacter jejuni. Okay, Campylobacter jejuni. The common source in which this disease is spreading is drinking water and contaminated with the fecal material. Okay, then the general symptom, dysentery like symptom along with the high fever. You will be having fever and dysentery. You will be having loose motion. Okay, dysentery like symptom. The next one is cholera. This you have heard, Vibrio cholerae. Okay, cholera, Vibrio cholerae. Okay, so the source is drinking water contaminated with the fecal, the bacteria. Okay, Vibrio cholerae, drinking water. Primary cholera you have heard. Okay, we are eradicating the cholera, but there are cases still. Okay, there is watery diarrhea. You will be having watery diarrhea, always watery loose motion. Okay, then nausea, cramps. Okay, nose bleeding is happening from the nose. Rapid pulse, the heartbeat will be very rapid. Okay, vomiting. Okay, so then the hypovolemic shock. Okay, this is a particular case. Okay, sudden shock. Okay, these are the common symptoms of cholera. Next one I told you, a common diarrhea, that is known as E. coli infection. Okay, so that is Escherichia coli or E. coli. The contaminated water is the main source. Then dehydration and diarrhea is the general symptoms. Diarrhea, common diarrhea. Next one is the dysentery that is caused by bacteria. Okay, this is known as bacillary dysentery or bacterial dysentery. The bacteria name that is caused by this infection is known as Shigella dysenteriae. Okay, Shigella dysenteriae. The major source is contaminated water with the bacteria. Okay, then the fecal material with the blood. When you are doing a loose motion, it will be with the blood. Okay, or mucus. Okay, and some cases vomiting of blood. Sometimes when you vomit, blood will come out of the mouth. Okay, so that is another important symptom. Then legionellosis. Okay, next disease is known as legionellosis. Then the causative bacteria is Legionella pneumophilia. Okay, Legionella pneumophilia. Okay, so here it is commonly warm water. There will be common presence of Legionella. Even if that is why you should always boil the water. If just to warm the water, the bacteria will not die. Okay, so you should boil the water and should drink. Then the general symptoms like fever, chills. Okay, always there will be chills in the body, fever, pneumonia, ataxia, anorexia, muscle ache. These are some of the typical cases. These are medical terms. Okay, if you are interested, you can ask me. Okay, then malaise. Okay, these are the some of the general symptoms. Okay, then the next one is the common, the typhoid fever. Okay, or salmonellosis. There are two cases. One is typhoid fever and paratyphoid fever. The causative organism is Salmonella typhi, that is caused by typhoid fever. Salmonella paratyphi causes paratyphoid, and this condition is known as salmonellosis. Okay, so water contaminated with the fecal material of an infected person. The source is water contaminated with the fecal material of an infected person. Okay, then the common symptoms is always sweating, diarrhea, light fever. Okay, muscle ache, fatigue. Okay, then constipation. Okay, these are the major symptoms. Okay, so you should I think you should check the Malayalam words of all those things. Since this class is in English, I am not telling all the Malayalam words, also you should know that. Okay, so next one is leptospirosis. Next disease is known as leptospirosis. Then the bacteria is known as, the causative organism is known as leptospira. Okay, leptospira is a bacteria. Okay, a species known as icterohemorrhagiae. Okay, leptospira icterohemorrhagiae. Okay, that is known as, that causes leptospirosis. Okay, so that is the water contaminated by animal urine carrying bacteria. Okay, the water that is contaminated by the animal like a rat, okay, pig, okay, all those animals. Okay, then next one here, the symptom is flu, always flu like symptom. Meningitis, that is inflammation in the brain. Liver damage, okay, jaundice, okay, and kidney failures. Okay, these are very, very serious complications, that is known as leptospirosis. There are many more examples, but these are the common example for bacterial the infection that is caused through contaminated water. Next one is protozoa. Okay, another most important thing is known as that is transmitted through water is protozoa. Okay, waterborne disease, that is protozoa, caused by protozoa. Then the diseases are amoebiasis, giardiasis, cryptosporidiosis, then microsporidiosis. So these are the common type of waterborne disease caused by protozoa. Okay, so the causative organism of this is this amoebiasis. This is otherwise known as, here we have seen dysentery, isn't it? This is bacillary dysentery or bacterial dysentery. So this is amoebic dysentery or protozoal dysentery. The causative organism is known as Endamoeba histolytica. Okay, Endamoeba histolytica. Then the source is sewage, non-treated drinking water, always flies, lot of flies, mosquitoes, etc. are there in the water supply. This will transmit the bacteria. The next one, the general symptom, abdominal discomfort, fatigue, weight loss, diarrhea, bloating and light fever. Okay, the abdominal pain, fatigue, weight loss, then diarrhea, then you'll be having bloating, then a fever. Okay, next one is giardiasis. The protozoa is known as Giardia lamblia. Okay, Giardia lamblia. So the same thing here, it is the source is untreated water, especially the water obtained from pipe. Okay, there is, if it is break is there or leak, groundwater contamination like spring well, etc., you will be getting giardiasis. The common symptoms are diarrhea, abdominal discomfort, bloating and flatulence. Okay, so these are the some of the general symptoms. The next one is cryptosporidiasis. Then the causative organism is Cryptosporidium parva. Okay, so Cryptosporidium parva. Okay, the sources are annual manure. Okay, manure that is obtained from annual manure, then seasonable runoff of water. Okay, seasonal runoff of water. Here the general symptoms are the flu-like symptom, watery diarrhea, loose motion with water. Okay, loss of appetite. You won't feel eating anything actually. Always you won't feel hungry. Okay, loss of appetite. Next one, substantial loss of weight and bloating, increased gas. Always you will be getting a gas troubles actually. Okay, nausea. Okay, so always you will be having nausea. So these are the general symptoms. Next one is microsporidiosis. Okay, so this is the causative organism is microsporidia. Okay, the causative organism microsporidia, and here the source is the groundwater. Okay, the source is groundwater. Next one is the general symptoms. Okay, diarrhea and wasting. Okay, so these are the general symptoms. And here you can see one thing you have noticed, all the places I have written in italics. Okay, the organism name that is written in italics. Whenever you write in the scientific name of an organism, this is a fundamental lesson of biology. Whenever you write in the scientific name, this name is known as genus name and this is a species name. Whenever you write the genus name, the first letter should be capital letter and either it should be italics and or it should be underlined. Okay, so Clostridium botulinum, the second is species name. B should be small letter. The species name started with a small letter. Okay, since most of our handwrites are like handwriting is like italics, so that is why when you are writing, you will write like this and you will underline separate. This will underline and this one also will be underlined. If you underline straight away E. coli, if you underline like this, it's wrong. Escherichia underline and coli underline, or E underline or coli underline. Okay, so that is the general rule. The third one is the waterborne disease caused by viruses. Okay, viruses also will be causing the waterborne disease, especially hepatitis. Okay, you have heard about hepatitis, one of the very important problem. Okay, so this causative organism of hepatitis, disease A and E, that is A virus and E virus, hepatitis A and hepatitis E. The most of the thing sources are the contaminated water and contaminated food. In the case of E, it is contaminated water with fecal material. Okay, so the general symptoms are fatigue, fever, malaise, abdominal pain, nausea, diarrhea, weight loss, itching, jaundice, depression, etc. Okay, so these are the common symptoms. So if you are able to see all the symptoms, you can see that after you consume the contaminated water, if you have this one, you can see that is hepatitis. Similarly, here it is a liver disease called acute hepatitis. That is a liver failure, liver disease, which includes fever, then fatigue, loss of appetitis, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, jaundice, dark urine. Okay, you can see urine. Okay, dark urine, it will be yellow in color actually. Okay, clay colored stool. Okay, clay colored stool and joint pains. Okay, these are the some common symptoms of hepatitis E. Next one, this you have already seen, polio. Okay, that is known as poliomyelitis. The causative agent is polio virus. This commonly contaminated, this is transmitted through contaminated water. Okay, transmitted to contaminated water with the fecal material. The major symptoms are headache, you are having fever, and occasional seizures. Okay, and spastic paralysis. Okay, these are some of the important paralysis, seizures, headache, fever, etc. Okay, poliomyelitis. Okay, so you know that earlier polio was one of the major problem. Okay, and now we have tried to eradicate that one. Next one, acute gastrointestinal illness. So this acute gastrointestinal viral infection, the common organism caused by novovirus, the contaminated water and fecal material. Contaminated water, that is contains fecal material, if you consume, you will get this particular infection. Then diarrhea, the general symptoms are diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, stomach pain, etc. Okay, so all those cases you will be having the loose motion and uncontrollable. You will be tired because your water content will be released from the body. Okay, so these are the common types of waterborne diseases caused by bacteria, viruses and protozoa. So this is all about the fecal pollution and waterborne diseases, dear students. So today we can conclude. Today we have discussed about the fecal pollution, we have discussed the introduction, and what are coliforms we have discussed. There are three types: total coliform, fecal coliform and Escherichia coli. Then here you can see the potential sources of bacteria we have discussed. Okay, the human sewage and animal sources, agriculture. Okay, and what are the problems associated with the this fecal contamination of water, human health. Okay, then effects on environmental health. Okay, then the waterborne diseases that is caused by bacteria, protozoa and viruses. So what I want to tell you is all these terms you should study. Okay, should write and study, otherwise you will not remember the name of the organism because you are non-biology students. Okay, so you have to write and study. Spelling you have to study actually. I have given very brief thing. There are so many hundreds of examples we can write here actually, but only brief things I have given for you actually. So that's all, dear students. So these are the major reference. You can refer any of the textbook, any microbiology basic textbook or plus 2 level textbook you can refer for this. Okay, and thank you very much, dear students. You can see that the people are struggling for the water. This is a big photograph of the African countries. There people are this. You can see how the water is look like, and they are taking to drink actually. This is the water. Okay, what they are drinking, and this is the water they are going to use for their preparing the food. Then you can see how that infection will transmit. Okay, so that is what water is the most resourceful item. You should preserve the water, protect the water. Okay, that is why rainwater harvesting is very, very important actually. Okay, so you should spread this particular awareness and this message to all the people once you are studying the microbes and environment paper as an open course. That is what I told you. People are really lucky to have this studying this paper, because you are studying lot of health based aspects. Not only getting the university marks, you are able to get a lot of potential insights for living as a better and healthy person in this present world. That's all, dear student. Thank you very much for watching this particular class. Have a great time. If you are having any clarification, you can ask me. Thank you very much.